until liberation, until the liberation of Palestine. Today, the butcher and the war criminal and their partners in war crimes are mingling together. Today, they are here, attempting to wield their ruling class corrupt institutional power to try to silence us. They are here to try to normalize their corruption, to normalize their racist agenda, to grasp onto their losing narrative and try hard to wipe away their losses. We won't let it happen. Are we ready? Are we ready? However, we are here. We, the people of defiance, the people of consciousness, being guided by our kin, our comrades, and Gaza. And here we will remind the forces of empire that we will never back down. Brothers, sisters, comrades, and kins, we have sharpened the contradictions. Yes, there are two sides to this genocide. There are two sides. There's the side of the oppressor, and there is the side of the oppressed. The side of the oppressor are the ones who want to maintain a white supremacist, imperialist, capitalist structure. The side of the oppressed is the side that is resisting, that is fighting, that will continue struggling for freedom and liberation. The ruling class has chosen their side, but guess what? We have chosen ours. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! I hear you! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! 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 From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Biden, Biden, you can't hide! Biden, Biden, you can't hide! Biden, Biden, you can't hide! Biden, Biden, you can hide! We charge you with genocide! We charge you with genocide! Thank you. And our next speaker is from the American Muslims for Palestine, Aya Ziada.
Good morning, Washington, D.C. On this day, 102 years ago, the League of Nations assigned the mandate of Palestine to Britain with the 1918 Balfour Declaration. This would be the start of Israel's brutal occupation of Palestine, 102 years ago. Last week, the International Court of Justice declared the Israeli occupation of Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem illegal. It also unequivocally found that Israel is committing apartheid against Palestinians in the occupied Palestinian territories. This ruling is not just a validation for what we Palestinians have been screaming for decades. It is a clarion call to the world that the time for action has been overdue. For too long, Palestinians have endured unspeakable suffering under the shadow of occupation, settler colonialism, and apartheid. The ICJ's decision shines a light on the truth that has been obscured by political maneuvering and willful ignorance. Yet the true measure of justice will be seen not in the proclamation of law, but in its enforcement. Over and over, we've been forced to confront a damning reality. The United States has played a central role in enabling Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza and its broader occupation of Palestine. Our tax dollars fund the bombs that rain down on Palestinians. Our political leaders offer unwavering support to a regime that systematically oppresses and brutalizes an entire people, now recognized by international law. For Congress to allow a war criminal like Bibi to enter the halls of our legislative chambers, let alone our country, is nothing short of disgraceful. The occupation existed long before him, we all know that, but Netanyahu's hands are stained with the blood of thousands upon thousands of Palestinians. The 9-month-long genocide of Gaza, marked by relentless bombings and blockades, bears his signature. And yet our leaders, those who claim to stand for justice and democracy, have not only welcomed him, but have met with him, tactically endorsing his crimes. President Biden, who's set to meet with Netanyahu tomorrow, despite knowing the absolute truth for months, and every member of Congress who has facilitated this visit, not only stands complicit in these atrocities, but is single-handedly responsible for them. We must channel our outrage into action. It's not enough to condemn these actions with words. We must demand that our leaders uphold international law and human rights, no matter how tiring it may become for us. The occupation and apartheid must end, and the enforcement of the ICJ ruling is a critical step in this journey. We must pressure our government to cease its support for Israel's crimes, both politically and financially, and hold those responsible accountable, like Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a moment of truth for all of us. Will we stand by as our country aids and abets genocide? Will we allow our leaders to betray the principles of justice and humanity? Or will we rise united and resolute to demand an end to this complicity? Louder! We must rally our communities, educate our peers, and hold our elected officials accountable on a daily basis. The world is watching, and history will judge us by our actions or our inaction. Let us honor the resilience and courage of the Palestinian people by refusing to be silent, no matter how long it takes. Let us demand justice, not just in words, but in our deeds. We owe it to the Palestinian people. We owe it to ourselves as American taxpayers and to the future generations to fight for a world where justice prevails, and that begins by making it clear that we, as Americans, tax-paying citizens, do not welcome war criminals of any kind into our country or the halls of legislative chambers that our tax dollars provide for. Thank you, and free Palestine.
Hello to everyone. How are we feeling? The weather is not so beautiful, but it's a wonderful day to confront fascism and imperialism in all its forms. My name is Muhammad, and I'm with the Palestinian Youth Movement, DC, Maryland, and Virginia chapter, and it's my pleasure to be one of the MCs for today. Almost 10 months later, after all the barbarity, all the fascist cruelty, we are more united than ever and stronger than ever, and they are weaker than ever before. That's the truth. And we promised, as soon as Netanyahu announced his visit, that we will not allow him one moment's peace. And I am so proud to announce a couple of actions that have occurred so far. One, he and the Zionist delegation woke up in their meeting room at the Watergate. They woke up to maggots and bugs and mealworms. Like they deserve. And as we speak right now, 4 intersections around the Capitol have been blockaded by the people, for the people. And the people are only getting started. We are only getting started. And it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker today, Zaina Hutchinson from the Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee.
Good morning, Washington. Okay, maybe we need a different chant. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
We are meters away from a war criminal being celebrated. They're not only celebrating a war criminal, they are protecting a war criminal. The irony is that Cop City built these metal cages to keep us, the people, out to protect the guilty. But what they don't realize is that we are the ones here, free, with the truth and calling for justice, and they are the cowards, captive, literally and figuratively. They are the ones who will forever be imprisoned in the legacy of genocide. We see you. We see you. Liberation is inevitable and accountability is coming. We protest a genocidal maniac, his supporters and enablers, and demand his arrest. But we will not give them the attention they so crave. Because despite them, we are here to uplift and center the Palestinian people in Gaza, in Tul Karim, in Al Khalil, in Jenin, in Nablus, in Ramallah, in Jaffa, in Haifa, in Qidal, in Bethlehem, in Nashrash, in Jericho, in Al Quds, and all Palestinians and Palestinians in refugee camps and in exile. We protest a genocidal maniac, his supporters and his enablers, and demand his arrest. But we uplift the memory of Muhammad Bhad, whose last words were, "Bas ya habibi," while being mauled by an Israeli army dog and then left to bleed to death. And we uplift the memory of Hind Rajab, of Sidra Hassoune, and the tens of thousands of Palestinian children killed by the Zionist entity over decades. We protest a genocidal maniac, his supporters and his enablers, and call for his arrest. But we uplift Palestinian journalists, academics, healthcare workers, farmers, thinkers, athletes, artists, and all resistance to oppression, subjugation, and genocide. We uplift the memory of our Ghassan Kanafani, our Najil Ali, our Fadwa Tuqan, our Shireen Abu Aqle, our Rifat Al-Arid. We protest a genocidal maniac, his supporters and his enablers, and demand his arrest. But we uplift the thousands of Palestinians in all of the Zionist dungeons and torture camps. Let's make sure they hear us when we say, we don't ask permission to end genocide. We demand it. We don't ask for permission to end apartheid. We don't ask for permission to return to our homeland. We demand it. We don't ask for permission to free Palestine. We demand it. Because liberation is a right, not a gift. Together we will not be denied. We will not back down. We will not be defeated. We will not surrender. We will not Each and every one of you is part of a just and historic movement. And it's called a movement because it can't be stagnant. It has to continue. Take care of yourselves and each other, because togetherness and justice is more powerful than any of their weapons. So while we are here powerfully together, let's remember and let them hear us in Gaza, in Palestine,